Welcome back, guys, to Direct Gaming, where we tell the truth, the whole truth. So help us gaming. You know, we always spit facts here. We always get into really good conversations and topics about what's going on in the industry and our thoughts on it. And joining our panel here, we've got the terrible trio, the dynamic duos of sorts at +1. We've got the realist one, who's always a very insightful, very knowledgeable cat. We always appreciate his insight on what he feels should move on in the gaming industry. And we've got, of course, the head honcho, the maestro, the Mr. Legal of the New, Mr. Di-RRec Gaming himself. Welcome, everybody. Graybeard J Mac in the building. Ready to start the show today, guys. We found out some new information here. We're going to get on some topics. Found out some confirmation on Helix about its performance, about its MPU. We got information about Shuhei Yoshida. He's been on some more podcasts recently talking about his exit with PlayStation. We also got news of a movie TV head of Xbox, Miss Wolfkill, leaving the company. Also, the biggest of the biggest news, and that's the Game Pass price drop. And to top it off, we've got one other thing to talk about, and that's the new 007 game. And I gotta say, man, it looks really rough. We're gonna jump into that too. So, Legal, why don't you throw up the intro? Let's get started.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
So
getting closer and closer. The barbecue time out in these streets is getting closer and closer. I'm just gonna sit back, chill, kick my feet up, and let these two cook.
So if you guys have been around gaming for as long as we have, we've been in it since the beginning, right? Since the 80s, since the Nintendo, Atari era. We follow the trends. We read news articles. We watch how gaming has evolved since the beginning. And in no time other than history has gaming been in a really bad state. We're seeing more and more developers lose faith, lose hope in the industry. There was actually some surveys that went out recently. I think Legal can attest to this at the GDC conference, where I think it was anywhere between 30 to 40% of developers just want to leave the industry altogether, which is not good. People are saying this is worse than the crash of the 80s, the gaming crash, because of all the factors that are going into it. People are just sick and tired of getting laid off, right? Sick and tired of getting fired, sick and tired of these greedy corporations taking advantage of their work and their talent and not showing how much they appreciate them. Because really, it's the game developers who make this industry healthy, makes it vibrant, makes it continue, right? Without the developers, where are the games, right? It's gonna turn into an AI slop churn fest, or shovelware fest, where it's very cheaply, poorly made games, and we're not going to see these big hits. We're not going to see these blockbusters, these great creative games anymore. It's just gonna shrivel and get worse because of these companies that just don't understand or don't read the room. They just don't care. They just care about their bottom lines, right? Well, I really hope that things change, because this is the red flag, like warning, kind of like danger, Will Robinson kind of moment right now for gaming. And I think people, especially these executives, need to snap the hell out of it and realize that this is not a good trend. This is not going in the right direction. They need to steer and turn the ship. or we need all new leadership altogether. Like the gaming world needs a reset. Maybe that's exactly what it needs. But to back on topic here, one thing I like about Microsoft and Xbox is they do value, for the most part, their developers, their gamers, right? And they've been making some really big moves, slowly building up to this moment now. And we're seeing it little by little, right? From their infrastructure, from their games, from their studio acquisitions, from their software and developing push points they're going through. We're seeing a monumental shift and a shift in the right direction. And I'm glad Microsoft is leading the charge. Asha really has, really stunned me. I know you guys have heard me talk and be on the Asha train for a while now, but really she's done some amazing things in just a short span. She hasn't even been on the job for 3 months, and she's already done more, I think, than Phil has done for the majority of his life as CEO of Microsoft. Really, she's already starting to turn things around for Xbox, in my opinion, in terms of the mind share, in terms of the business. They're listening, they're learning, which are two things that they've lacked or just completely disregarded in a lot of ways. But that's all changing now. We're seeing that already within that for this first span of 3 months. She's already done multiple things that I can list off on a chart. And I'm sure we've gone over these before. But the big one that we were talking about, the one that I was very adamant that it was the worst thing they could have done last year, and that was raise the price of Game Pass to $30 a month. Because Game Pass is the main entry point into their ecosystem. It's the most important part of their business now. It's what attracts a lot of people to their service. And for them to raise it $30 was just a horrible move. I get why they did it. But if anything, they needed to keep Game Pass the same price. And I am so glad that she's already taken the charge and lowered that price to $22.99 a month. So now all these naysayers and these people that were bitching and moaning about the $30 a month can now shut the hell up, because $22 a month for hundreds of games that cost thousands of dollars, with on top of the perks you get with the service, not just the games, but the actual game perks, the rewards, the system, like the freebies you get. It's a great value. And you get day and date first party games that are $70 a piece. Multiple first party games that are $70 a piece for $22 a month. And you could get that even cheaper through third party sites. If you guys ever check out, I could recommend a couple right off the bat here. G2A.com. That's G2A.com, and Loaded.com. Also Newegg as well.
Man,
check those places out. Yep. They do really good deals.
That's the only one I deal with is Aniba.
Yeah, that's a good one. You could do 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. There's all different types of keys, and you could literally get a year of Game Pass for like $150, $160 a year. That's a hell of a steal for what you get. And so this was the first part, in my mind, of the good business decisions and shift that the business needed to start going into, right? Another factor of the business that I think they need to change or reverse course is on the price of the consoles. They need to be competitive with not only PC, because I know that's what their main market is now. They want to be competitive with PC, but they also need to be competitive with Nintendo and Sony in terms of the console prices. Because Sony just raised their prices $100. Nintendo's charging $500 for their Switch. Make the Series S 200, 250. Make the Series X 450. Make it the same price as the Switch 2. Make it undeniable. And I know that's crazy talk, but I really think they need to. So here's the thing, real. They're not attracting people at the current price that at the price point they had originally, right? So they raised the prices again, which is going to turn off even more people to buying their console. And their main,
I'm gonna let you cook.
Yeah, let me cook. Then you can go on.
But I'm gonna say this.
Okay.
When the Xboxes were available, people were still willing to go pay $1,200 to $1,500 for a PlayStation 5. So I don't think it's the price. I think
it's more. You're right. It's more than just the price. Let me just say that it's not just about the price. It's about the messaging and the communication. They need to do better about highlighting why the Xbox platform is more valuable to them than the PlayStation is. What you're getting through Game Pass, what features of the console that you could get that the PlayStation doesn't have, the benefits of the ecosystem in general, like just overall, they need to show off more of what the console can do, more of the price differences, like even show. I think they need to show the disparity between the two, like, you know, the constant messaging. They need to get it out there more of like why Xbox is the better platform for you as a gamer than PlayStation. That's something they've really never done before. They've really never hit on it hard, like you know, back in the Sega Nintendo days, they were constantly running ads and commercials about like why Nintendo is better than Sega and why Sega is better than Nintendo. Like they need to do something similar on top of dropping the price, because I do think that will help. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying they need to be competitive in different ways. They need to improve their messaging and their communication on everything. They need to improve their marketing. And I know you have a thing against that, but really marketing does make a difference. It's how you market and what they need to market, right? They need to market the features of the Xbox, right? They need to market the Game Pass and the value of Game Pass and what games you get on it. Like highlight every games that come out every week, you know, but not just on YouTube. They need to do it on as many social media platforms as possible, billboards. They need to spend a lot on market. I think they need a heavy purse on marketing, because I just don't think the message is getting out there clear enough. And they need to get it into the game stores. They need to get it as much in many places as possible, right? So this Game Pass price decrease was a big deal. I think it definitely set them back in the right direction. And there's much more they still need to do. Like this is just a start, but it's a start that I wanted to see at least. And you just can't deny the value anymore, right? You're not going to get anything cheaper, because if you look, and we're looking at this from a comparable difference, and this is something else that they could message as well. Like here's Game Pass, here's Nintendo Online, here's PS Plus or PSN. Here's the differences between the three. Here's why we are better. That's something that they need to do, in my opinion, to show why Xbox is the better platform and why it's the better ecosystem for gamers. They really need to show that. Even for the casual gamers, it's more beneficial, right? You get the Fortnite Crew Pass. A lot of people play Fortnite. You can't get that with PS Plus. You can't get that with Nintendo. With Helix, it's going to be no paid online. That's going to be another plus that they're going to have, or advantage they're going to have over the other two. So Asha's making all the right moves right now. As we talked about before, she's hired a brand new marketing team, right? She knows that their messaging needs to improve. She knows they need to go back to the foundation, the core of Xbox, the hardware. She realizes the hardware is important, right? That they lost their focus. They focused too much on cloud and PC, and this is an Xbox campaign. They steered away from it, but they realize now that they need to go back to the drawing board and build on Xbox's strengths and improve upon their weaknesses. So she's making these decisions already in the right directions, for me anyway. So we found out on top of this, there's been more information that came out. Now we saw interviews, right, where they've interviewed Sarah Bond, they've interviewed Phil and Matt about the next Xbox, about Helix. And most of their messaging has been the same or around the same. And that is, it's going to be a high-end premium experience. It's going to be the biggest technical leap in a console generation. It's going to be it's going to be a hybrid system that builds the best of Windows and Xbox together, working together. For the first time ever, their Windows team and Xbox team is working closer than they've ever had. The morale, ever since Asha has taken the helm, has never been higher at Xbox. The enthusiasm has never been higher. Like I said, I've seen there are some Microsoft engineers on Twitter, and I saw them say those exact same things. And what are we seeing now as a result of it? We've seen more and more improvements to the Xbox system in terms of the dashboard, the UI. They're adding features. Hopefully they continue doing that, right? They're already starting listening to more fan feedback, right? They're making changes and improvements. They're still listening. They're not done, right? This is just the beginning, right? But this is the next era, I feel. This is the new generation of Xbox we needed, in my eyes. This is the start of something special. The reason why I say that is because all those things are turning out to be true. Now, I want to say that this YouTuber Moore is Law, I don't know how much credence I give the guy, but he is a PC head. He seems to be very knowledgeable. He knows quite a bit about PCs and hardware. And he's come out and basically said in a recent, I think it was a recent video or article, that he's calling Helix console equivalent to a $2,000 to $3,000 gaming PC. Now, where have you heard that before? From us. We've said this on multiple shows before, Legal and I, that this console is going to be a mid to high end tier PC equivalent in terms of performance. Sorry.
Move your camera over a little bit, or sit. Yeah. There you go.
A mid to high equivalent end tier PC, right? For a quarter of the price of the same specs, right? And he said it's going to be disruptive to the market. I think so. I mean, yeah. I think PC enthusiasts are going to eat that up. Like, that's for what you're getting hardware wise, performance wise. There's going to be features that are proprietary in Helix that aren't even going to be available on PC.
It's going to have all the ones out there that run their Mac that don't really have a powerful PC. They're going to get that. They're going to get that. They're going to get the power of Windows and Xbox together. They're going to get every game storefront almost pretty much on the market. They just announced that GOG is going to be available on Helix. So you're going to get Xbox games in the Xbox platform. You're going to get Steam. You're going to get GOG, and you're going to get Epic. You're talking thousands of games. You get your whole library of PC games and your Xbox games with back compat on top of anything else you want to do in the Windows environment. So you can emulate retro games. You can stream movies from your Windows environment at the switch of one button. You press one button and immediately you switch to Windows, or you could switch back to the Xbox full screen experience. It's going to be pretty seamless too, once, because right now what they're doing is they've got kind of like a free beta test model in the Ally X, because the Ally X is basically the model for Helix. They're building Ally X, the UI and the design and the features to incorporate into Helix. So they're already building and learning from that as we speak. And they've been making multiple improvements over the year already. They pushed out multiple updates already. So it's only going to get better by the time Helix comes out.
I think the UI is going to be very similar to the Ally. Maybe slight differences, like I was telling Legal, but yeah, you're talking about a super powerful, super quiet device with the strongest AI neural processing chip ever in the history of a console. Let's read this article real quick. Recent rumors revealed that Microsoft may be ditching APU customization for Xbox Project Helix, its upcoming PC console hybrid that is expected to launch around the $1,000 mark, opting instead for an off-the-shelf AMD APU that will seemingly be available to other manufacturers. Now, per a rumor by Moore's Law, it seems as though that high price may come with a significant performance boost. He says, what's even more of a cause for optimism, though, is how much better Helix will be. Helix is basically a high-end PC, even using the same silicone as AMD's 70 class or maybe 80 class RDNA 5 GPUs. It isn't an ultra level of PC hardware, but still far more powerful than consoles usually have been. It will have the biggest APU in console history. Yes, it will be expensive, but guys, if it's even $1,200, it's like a $2,000 to $3,000 gaming PC. That's disruptive. The Xbox Helix console is said to be more powerful than the PS6, thanks to a much larger die in the Xbox, which will reportedly feature a chiplet design with 68 RDNA 5 computational units and 48 gigabytes. That's even more than we thought. 48 gigabytes of GDDR7 RAM. The PS6, on the other hand, is slated to have somewhere between 52 and 54 RDNA 5 CUs. So that's almost a 14 to 15 CU difference. Let's see here. He also touches on the oh wait, that's for the PS6 console. It's going to have a weaker APU even before the dev kits have been shipped to developers. He also says that the PS6 will be backwards compatible and capable of playing at least 4 PS4 games. So really nothing new with PlayStation 6. Like, you know, we've been there, done that. We've had backwards compatibility already. Sony's still catching up. They always play catch up because they haven't been building on the technologies and the infrastructure as long as Microsoft has. They don't have their own operating system, like Legal always says. They use a custom shell of Linux, so they don't even have their own operating system. So they can't take advantage of all the features and specs that Xbox can with Helix. So yeah, that's the news that we're getting here. It's even more promising than what we thought. You know, I mean, what better value is that, guys? Come on. Game Pass, $22 a month. A $3,000 PC for $1,200 or less. I mean, what like all the game storefronts you could ever want. Like what more would you want with a gaming platform as a gamer, in my opinion? Like, why would you want to go to PlayStation 6? There's no benefits of going there. They're doing the same old. They're hunkering down more on live service games. They're not going to give you as many of those single player experiences anymore. You know, their third party games run like crap compared to Xbox or PC. I just don't see why people benefit that platform more. I mean, other than their library being there, but yeah, it's just Helix is looking more and more promising, and that's just even more news that to be excited about, right? Because if you think about it, you're not going to get a better deal anywhere else. Really, it is the best deal in gaming. Bottom line, flat out. There's just no comparison between the three now. I mean, I just don't see any benefit to going to Nintendo and Sony right now. I mean, unless you really like their first party, but I would rather have access to everything and play everything in one place. And you could do so much more too with Helix. And we've got more information showing that it's definitely looking to be slated for a late 2027 launch. So we only have another year or so of waiting for it. I expect some more news probably towards the end of this year, maybe next year is when we'll start to hear more about it. But I think this is this Game Pass decrease is a good start. I don't know about real and legal, but I'm still on the Asha train. Choo choo. I think I think they picked a great leader. I don't care what Real says. He can laugh, but I think it's definitely a big shift. And yes, I know you called me out. I know I have praised Phil. Phil did do some good things. He did. I won't discredit him for sure. He did definitely go in the direction. I actually, believe it or not, I was one of the few people that liked that strategy of going to all platforms, because I feel like in order for Microsoft to achieve their 100 million subscriber goal, they would need to broaden their reach to as many people as possible through as many devices and platforms as possible.
And that's the
but
worst.
It's clear
the
human element will never make that happen, because people are fickle. People don't like Microsoft and Xbox for whatever reason, or they just want to stay on their platform. They don't want to lose their library. They don't want to go to Xbox, no matter how well they do, no matter what they do, no matter what prices or what business changes they make, or no matter how good the hardware is, no matter how good the games are. It feels like nothing they can do could ever be good enough for some of these people. And that's why I've shifted my mind on that strategy, and realized that it's not such a good idea after all, especially with the way people are in general. But I actually thought it was a good idea for what they were trying to achieve. But it's clear they have to approach it differently. They do have to be more competitive. They do need to be selective on what games that stay on Xbox and PC, what games go to other platforms. But for me, I think they should just stop porting to PlayStation altogether. Just leave that trash platform behind. There's no incentive, because the donkeys don't really buy their games. They play the same live service games. They don't care about Xbox games anyway. They just like to dunk on it and just give it bragging rights to say, oh, it's not exclusive anymore. I've got your games, your whole slate, that kind of crap. So, let them have their live service games that flop and fail, like Marathon. I know it's not done yet, but it will be soon. And let them enjoy those games. Let them enjoy Sony, continue to monetize them and give them less games and less incentive to stay on the platform, keep charging them more for PS Plus, because that's what they deserve, because in my view, they're not real gamers, because real gamers would want to see who has the best hardware, who has the best games, who has the best value in my eyes. And right now, of the three, Xbox offers you more than all three. So these are all great decisions in my view. I don't mind Call of Duty being 1 year off of Game Pass. It's not going to hurt the game. It won't hurt Microsoft. It'll actually incentivize their sales. And them keeping the older Call of Duty titles on there, it's fine. I mean, people still can play Call of Duty. Plus, there's so many games to play right now, and they just keep coming. Like, there shouldn't be any reason why you should be mad that Call of Duty won't be day and date for the new games. There's plenty of other games to play until then. You don't have to be patient or wait. Dolan Knight in the building. Phil and Sarah's testimony at the ABK hearing helped clear the way for the purchase. Their contributions didn't go inappropriated. No, I'm not saying that, Dolan Knight. I'm not saying everything they did was wrong. I'm just saying their strategy just doesn't work for Xbox. And what they did for ABK was the right move, because they did need more studios. They did need a bigger mobile presence, mobile platform, which I do think they're still building a mobile app where they're going to have more mobile games in the future, because they're not slowing down in that area. I think they just renewing their focus. They're shifting and kind of pulling back a little bit, trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what new direction they need to go, and what business strategies they can incorporate to help turn the business around and grow it more. So let's give Asha some more time. She's already making great moves as it is. I think she needs to continue listening to the fans, continue making the right decisions. So far, no rakes have been stepped on, as Real would probably say.
No, I wouldn't. That's the goofy dudes stepping on rakes.
But I want to take this opportunity now that we've gone over the news. We could talk about the veteran leaving in a little bit, but I wanted to turn the mic over to Legal about the new Helix news, about the Game Pass drop. What do you think about it? Is it a right decision? I know you said that they don't need to lower the price, but I feel like they do. But let me pass the mic over to you, and I'll let you speak on the topics for a bit.
Right, send it over to the realest one,
or to Legal, whoever wants to take the mic.
No, I'm passing it over to the realest one. I told you this was your show tonight, brother. You look. I don't know if I'm gonna ever. I want you to become legendary, right? Me and realist already had our legendary moments.
Listen, we talk about Xbox because we're passionate about the platform. We're passionate about gaming. It's not just about to dunk on Sony and Nintendo. I'm not trying to do just that.
Man, I'm
just trying to.
No, that's right. That's right.
I'm just trying to point out that if you take a step back and get out of the fanboyism, see it from a clear perspective, you could see that in my eyes, Xbox is the most consumer friendly of the three. They care about their fans and their gamers. They realize how important it is now. They realize how important the console is now. They're shifting gears. They're starting to make the right decisions, and people need to see that, right? Because if you're a gamer and you like playing lots of games, or even if you just like playing Fortnite, there's a lot of incentive to join Game Pass and Xbox. And Helix is the future. You guys are going to see, because the power of Helix is not just in the hardware, it's in the cloud technology as well. Right. So especially if you have a fast internet connection, they're going to be building games I think Kojima's OD might be one of the first examples, but they're going to be building games that run off not just your hardware, but Xbox server hardware through the cloud. So you're going to get more immersive games, more powerful and smart, intelligent AI, environments and combat, making it feel super realistic, like you're in the world and it's happening in real time. And everything about it is going to be more advanced than we've experienced as playing a video game. It's going to take it to the next level in ways that we always wanted to. At least for me, I've always imagined a game full immersion where sometimes you forget that it's a game just because it just pulls you in, from a VR experience where everything around you feels like it's in the moment and it's happening for real. And this is the step, the technical leap, the step that we've been wanting, that I think we wanted this generation, but it just wasn't there yet. The technology wasn't there yet. But with this, the power of this hardware and the features set that's coming with it, and with the power of Windows and Xbox, we're really in for a premium, high class experience that no other platform is going to be able to offer you. And if that's not enough to convince you to join Xbox, nothing will, because for whatever reason you have some sort of bias or innate hatred for the company. I understand that. Obviously, they've stumbled and fallen. They made a lot of mistakes. They didn't hire, I feel, the right leadership in a lot of ways. They just didn't have the right team. It's like winning a Super Bowl, right? How do you win a Super Bowl? You need to have the right players. You need to have the right team, right? The right leadership, right? I feel like this is going to be their Super Bowl team.
Yeah,
I know it's a bad analogy, but I'm just trying to say that this is, I feel like this time is different, and this time is going to be the big step for them as a company and for gaming as a whole. And they're going to lead the charge. I think they're going to lead the market in everything. Rangy Force says, I don't care for VR unless I can go to work with VR while I'm at home. Facts. The only reason I brought up VR is because of how immersive it is. I'm trying to equate it to you so it's easier to make sense, or for you to kind of grasp. But yeah, it's going to be some next level gaming. I'm looking forward to it. I know we still got another year and a half. I was hoping they would show something at the showcase this year, but I have a feeling it might probably get pushed till next year. But I think they need to show the hardware sooner rather than later. They already have the dev kits going out. And we're going to get, obviously, performance boosts too with Helix, with the older games. So, 4K gaming, 120 frames or higher for a lot of the games. Potentially even better with the performance tweaks and the new feature sets that are coming, the new DiRRec. But for me, Xbox is the most exciting platform. Elorm Evans says, hi, fam.
Hold on. Wow, read that. Read that, fam. Man.
It's Elorm Evans watching straight from Ghana. Keep doing podcasts like these because I love Xbox gaming, and I love how Sharma is doing things just with that a few months coming in. Facts, man. Hey, welcome to the show.
Ghana, man.
We're so glad you're listening in Ghana. We really appreciate you guys, and thanks for everybody joining the show every time, even newcomers. We always appreciate.
Hey, straight up, shout out to Xbox fan in Africa, bro. Because you know that's PlayStation Nation. Like I talk to a lot of African people, and all they talk about is PlayStation. That's all their memories is PlayStation. But I fought Xbox for not attacking that region the way they should have attacked a whole lot of other regions.
But
Pablo. Sorry, go ahead, Pamela.
If you want me to come off the top rope, man, I don't mind. But I was gonna do it after Realist.
Yeah, I was gonna answer a few chats here. Rangy 4 said Helix has to stand out to show what makes Helix the console to have. It does, and that harkens back to what I was saying about the marketing and the messaging. They need to communicate the features of the console, what it can do compared to the other two competitors, right? What games are coming to it, and why the games are going to run better on Helix, and why it benefits you to get Helix for those games. They really need to showcase that. They need to showcase the differences between the other platforms. I think that's something that they've never really done. Like, they need to attack it, attack. And they've always played it safe. They've always just relied on the traditional models, just word of mouth and, small little advertisements and YouTube ads here and there. Nothing really going full frontal assault on Sony and Nintendo. They really need to do that. They need to highlight Helix as much as possible and what it can do. Pablo said, I have a question. How is Xbox going to continue to succeed? I'm getting a Series X. Well, Pablo, I don't know how long you've been on the show, but I've kind of highlighted some of those things already. They need to be more competitive in their pricing. They need better messaging about what their console can do, what Game Pass offers, and the value of Game Pass. They need to market each new game that comes out at least 2 or 3 months in advance. Keep showing the games, show the performances of the games, how it runs compared to the competitors. Show off why it's better to get an Xbox, because you're getting the best experience. And I know, I'm just saying, like, from my opinion, I think those things they need to do in order for them to stand out and show people why Xbox is good and why it's successful and why they need to invest in the platform, right? They also need to lower the prices on the console, on Game Pass, which they just did. They also need to showcase more new games. They need to showcase more backwards compatibility games. They need to showcase backwards compatibility, quick resume, smart delivery, all the different things that comes with the platform, right? They already are actually still succeeding. For the most part, their business model has been profitable. Game Pass pulls in about $5 billion a year in revenue, and it's actually increasing. And I think with this price drop, it's going to go up even more now. So they're doing fine as a business. I think they will succeed, but they've got to change some things, and I've already highlighted what they need to change. But I'm hopeful they will continue to be successful. But it's really dependent on what they do this next generation. Like, I feel like I've told Legal this is their make or break, in my opinion. Like, if they don't communicate better, if they don't showcase or highlight why Helix is a great platform, why they should go to Helix, I just think they're going to continue the same mistakes they did with the previous generations, and nobody's going to see how special the platform is. They're just going to continue to think that PlayStation is the best platform to play, or Nintendo. Xbox really needs to show why that's not true.
Resident.
And I'm done. I'm just wanting to finish and say you should hope for Xbox to concede, because they make Sony and Nintendo more competitive. Sony follows the leader. They constantly copy what Xbox is doing in different ways. But no, I'll pass the mic to you, Real. Go ahead and spit off your bars, my friend.
No, see, look, I had to take some notes. I started taking them too late. All right, first off, I'm going to support. I'm like a Republican or Democrat. I'm gonna support my candidate. Whoever wears my colors, I'm gonna support them, right? So Asha's coming in, but she's not moving with light speed. These things are already in motion. She's just the representative of them. I don't know why they couldn't let Phil do it. Not that I miss Phil or anything like that. It's just that it makes him look, it undoes every good thing that he did, right? So whatever she does, as long as it makes the platform look better, as long as it makes the platform more attractive to me, I'm all for it. I prefer booty. You know what I'm saying? In life and in video games, I prefer booty. When I read the emails, when he said, let's spin them out of business, I said, that's my dog. When I heard that Sarah Bond was gone, I heard about Asha. Then I heard about Booty. And I'm like, man, why didn't they promote Booty? This dude has been there. You know what I mean? He's the one that has the real attitude, the real, what is it? The vigilante spirit. He's the one that has the real vigilante spirit, the upset the apple cart spirit. We saw that in Black and White.
Yeah, you're referencing that leaked email where they said they could literally spin Sony out of business.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he said we should buy them hoes over there in Japan. Let's buy Nintendo. You know what I mean? Phil Spencer's like, that'd be great. I don't think so. Right? Sometimes Phil did look weak, but I do know that they held him back on a lot of things. You know what I mean? I know that a lot of the decisions that happened over the past couple of years were not Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond decisions. Sarah Bond was the face of everything as an Xbox, but I don't think that was something that she could see. She is from the old gaming guard. Same thing with Phil. They might not. She might not have 100,000 gamer score like Phil, but she's a gamer. You know what I mean? Her stories. I mean, I believe them. She's been playing games, since 007 at least on Nintendo 64 in college. So, Asha, she can do great. Peter Moore he didn't have any gaming background. So, I just think that y'all giving her a lot of credit. Honestly, I don't care. She could be the face of the credit. She could be the face of change, and I'm gonna rock with it. And then you brought up Game Pass. Why do I think Game Pass needs to be so cheap? It make me sound like a game coon or a shill when I'm
because all the companies keep raising the prices on their subscriptions. So I think why should differentiate themselves from them.
But why?
Netflix, right? Disney, freaking every Nintendo, they've all raised their prices.
Nintendo is buns, right? If it's not for Mario or Zelda, then okay, I do play Splatoon. All right, I did play Splatoon. So Nintendo makes some fun games. I'm not buying a Nintendo 2 or Switch 2 or whatever. Right? I'm done with Nintendo because they charging $80 for video games and the games are not that great. My wife plays Splatoon, so I played with her. I enjoyed it, yeah. Mario, I mean, what are they gonna do with the next Mario? You know, Zelda. I didn't even finish Tears of the Kingdom because it was so much like the first one. But I'm over Nintendo. But we keep saying let's go down, down, down on the price. How much are y'all gonna cry? How much are they gonna take from us? Right? I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care about Fortnite. I don't care about Valorant. I don't care about the crew or any other perks that they give because there's a few of them that they try to give me. Hell, they still try to give me Paladin points. Do people even play that anymore? Like, I don't care about any of those things. What I do care about is if they're charging $360, if there's $360 worth of value in the service, and there was $360 worth of value in the service, because dude on Twitter, I said, man, y'all crying, but I got $500 worth of Game Pass games on my Ally right now. Right? I was just talking out my ass, but then when I did the math, it's over $500. But I sent them pictures of every game in Game Pass that I didn't pay for. Over $500 on the Ally. You know what I mean? Expedition is $50. You know what I mean? Avowed, whether you like it or not, is $50. It was $70. Like all those games add up. So if you're getting access to $6,000 worth of product and you're only paying $360, the value was still there. Now, y'all are celebrating in the streets about $23. This sets a precedent. It's a precedent that I'm not excited about because if they can remove Call of Duty in the name of keeping prices low, they can remove a game that I really want to play, like an Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I would buy Elder Scrolls 6. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, people like talking to us Xbox fans like we don't buy games, like we didn't know, like we don't know how to function without the service. The service came to us. We never asked for Game Pass. I didn't land on Playing Rock. Playing Rock landed on us. You know what I mean? You probably don't know about that, Resident. But we didn't ask for a service. That was something that Microsoft chose to bring. But we were buying games before. You know, so I don't think that they need to keep going lower and lower in the price because what's next? They're gonna take ZeniMax? Gears not gonna be in the service? You know, there's a lot of things that promises that Phil made that the new regime does not have to uphold, like every first party game being in Game Pass. Fable probably shouldn't be in Game Pass by that metric either. I'm pretty sure the budget on that is
they're already making those changes. I think removing Call of Duty is just a start.
Yeah, I know it's just a start, especially if y'all keep crying. You still got weirdos out here asking for $19.99. You already saw that, like that. Look, I'm glad to
people want a deal. You know, and you're not like everyone.
But that's the problem. They're not playing games. You know what I'm saying? They're not playing games. They were only invested because it was a good deal. When it was $9.99, you just got it because it was $9.99. You weren't playing these games. That's what I don't like about people that complain about the price.
Yeah, they're only playing one or two games. Yep.
Yeah, and if that's you, $9.99 is too much for you. $4.99 is too much. But if we keep complaining about lower the price, lower the price, lower the price, there was $30 worth of value in that service. You could have chosen to go to whatever the middle tier is. I don't even know what the hell it is because I'm paid up for another 2 years. But take a step down. If you want Call of Duty, if you're mad about Call of Duty, you got exactly Call of Duty worth of savings. Go buy it now. But my problem is, what happens if it's more than Call of Duty? What happens if it's the new Elsewhere game? Because that's another initiative type of setup that's coming that they got going on overseas with this big budget AAA game that they got transmedia plans for. You know what I mean? What happens when they deem that too expensive for a service and they want to get all their money back once Activision puts its big marketing budgets behind it to make sure that the game succeeds? Because that's what a lot of these games, all these games need is visibility. Every big game that I see had crazy marketing, except for what's the name of that game? Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate's got like 40 years of heritage. But Elden Ring had crazy marketing, Cyberpunk, Hogwarts Legacy, all of these games that sell crazy numbers had crazy marketing that are not Nintendo games because Nintendo gamers actually buy the Nintendo games. So they're excluded. But a lot of these games, and people got mad at me when I said, man, y'all keep asking for Xbox to do marketing. This was before we had all this stuff, you know. But there's the Activision, Blizzard, right? What are they really going to market if it's not Halo, Gears, Forza? There's really not a big marketable game that you want to put $100 million worth of marketing behind, other than those games. Now you have Call of Duty. Now you have but some Bethesda games coming around. Starfield had a crazy marketing push. I still got my collector's box. Go ahead.
It's not just the games they need to market. They need to market like Game Pass, like how many games you're getting in the service, some like prices of the games, the value of the yearly cost of Game Pass versus how much the value of all those games that come out that year, like comparisons there. They need to market like the features of the console, what the console can do compared to it's not just the games. Like they need to market everything about the platform in my eyes.
Well, no, I'm just talking about the games, because when it comes to I didn't get to that bullet yet. See, I'm still on Game Pass. I told you I took notes. I got Asha, cheap consoles. I skipped that one. I'll come back to that one because somebody in the chat asked about that too. And Game Pass, there's a price that we pay. It's just like some of the guys in the community that called out the Xbox community for crying about Xbox Gold or Xbox Live, whatever you want to call it, for going up to whatever it was, $10 a month. And I said, man, everybody just needs to shut up, because for one, it doesn't apply to you. The price was only going up for people who weren't already in the service. Two, you just crying because everybody else is, because you basically joining in with the I Hate Xbox crowd at this point. It was not for you, and it wasn't for us to cry about. I said, if you get them to renege on this, they're going to come back another way for it. And so now we see, okay, well, Lord Game Pass, you don't get Call of Duty. Honestly, I could care less either way. The only reason I played Call of Duty was I hadn't played Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. The only reason why I played Call of Duty.
Bro, that's insane.
I got over 2,200. Hey, but you should see some of the people that I used to roll with on that game, man. I got one dude's got 3 years. I don't even know how many hours that equates to. It just says 3 years.
Ow.
Yeah, but see, that was all we did. That's what
goofy ass PC gaming right there.
You're still gonna get the Call of Duty game. It'll just be 6 months to a year later. You know, you're still gonna get it.
So, yeah, I got that on Xbox. But no, we
that's that PC culture,
dude. That's a Bethesda game. Okay, even if it was PC, it's ours now. Stop it. Dang, act like you know. But no, there's a price to pay for them.
Don't nobody sit on no game and play with that.
You do. You let Gears come out and be hotness. You're gonna put more than 1,000 in. Really, 1,000. 1,000 is not.
He's gonna get his all gold weapons. He's gonna do ranked matches till he gets 500.
He's gonna get t-shirts, tattoos, and ball caps. I don't even know why you're talking junk, man. But anyway, so look, we gotta be careful. Okay, look, keep complaining about it. But you're gonna always get what you pay for. Like these weirdos on Twitter that keep trying to compare PS Plus to Game Pass like it's apples to apples. You're getting what you pay for. PlayStation has the PS Plus has no business costing it a penny over $14.99. You know what I'm saying? So when you got the catalog that Xbox has that goes into there day one, that it's game over. The third parties that go in there, bro, we're about to get the Yakuza game in there. Hades is not new, but it's new to Xbox in there day one. You know what I mean? I think that was still last year. I mean, Expedition was in there day one. Silk Song, yeah, it was $20, but it was in there day one. You know what I mean? That wasn't the only game that I played out of Game Pass. All right, so cheap consoles. I'm only gonna touch on this for a little bit, man. Look, you ever notice that Nintendo never lowers the price on their games, Resident?
Yeah, but that's Nintendo.
No. But why don't they lower the price?
Because they see their games as a high value, like it's not cheap. They see them as premium.
No.
They want you. Go ahead. You tell me then.
They don't lower their price because they are from the Japanese market. Their money is called yen. Yen is weaker than the dollar. And when they sell something in America, they have to convert it.
Regardless, they think it devalues their IP. their games.
So,
now what you're saying, Resident, is the truth. What Legal's saying is theory. They don't do it because you can say it's the truth. You can substantiate.
You go look it up.
You can say, look. You can even substantiate it. But I'm telling you what they say themselves. You don't lower the price because a cheap game is assumed to be low quality. If you lower
their
game,
theory. That's the theory from Japan.
And it works. And it works. From software go less than $30. When you look at what's the name? PlayStation. The only game that never goes lower than $30 is Ghost of Tsushima. It's assumed that the quality is low if the price is low. Like we celebrate a Silk Song coming out and contending for Game of the Year. We celebrate an Expedition coming out at 50, but that's their theory behind or their reasoning behind why they don't lower the price. So if you got a PlayStation out here that's $900 and you got another PlayStation that's out here for $650, why would Xbox come in here to undercut them just to win the sorriest, funky fan base that they can get? I think a question for you, Relish. Xbox, ask me in a minute. Xbox should really focus on who they have. Come on, man. You know what?
What you're saying is keep the price at the same, and you think that's going to help them by keeping the Series X and S even more expensive?
Listen,
I'm scared of you Houston Astro fans, man.
Look at me, I'm a Red Sox fan.
Damn, he done jumped.
I am never no Astros fan. I don't mind seeing the home team win though. But the Red Sox got me in baseball. I grew up in North Carolina, man. We had the Kinston Indians, the Cleveland farm team. I grew up watching baseball like that.
I got a question, man.
Hey, baseball though. Go ahead.
If the theory is cheap, right? If the theory is selling something cheap, and it poses to be weak, then why the hell is Nintendo Switches all cheap and weak as hell?
They're not. Look, they're cheap by definition of quality, but Nintendo is the first console in history to never lower the price. So you can say as trash as it is, they should have been selling them for $199. They should have been selling Switch Lights for $100, $150. But they didn't.
I agree.
But that's why they don't lower the price. So how does it look that? Of course, they can come in and undercut them. They could totally go and undercut PlayStation right now if that's what they want to do. But I don't think that they want to subsidize anymore. I don't think any of them want to subsidize anymore. Nintendo never did. PlayStation obviously is not. AMD wants a bigger cut of the money. So we're asking Xbox to really just take a big piece of meat on this one.
What they're doing isn't working right now. They need to do something differently and
to sell consoles. You want them to sell more consoles? Okay. Now, you might poo-poo 50 million, right? If they can get to 50, 60 million, I think that's great, right? Also, what them going to PC does is it basic. Okay, that was what I was going to ask you earlier. Who is the more discerning consumer? Legal, don't get mad. Is it PC gamers or console gamers?
PC.
So, you're saying all of this education that Xbox has to do for these casual gamers.
I think it will help. Yeah, I'm not saying it'll.
I'm not saying no. I'm not knocking you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But what I am saying is, why go through all that trouble when you can just integrate yourself over there to where people already know what they're buying? What Xbox needs to do is ensure that they're giving the Helix the same attention that they're giving Steam products. And the Steam products will not outsell the Xbox products, right? But Steam Deck has Steam Deck settings on video games. That's all we need, bro. They're already developing on PC. All we need is a Helix setting, whatever they're gonna call it, the Xbox 1080. That's all we need is a setting. It comes out as optimized. Instead of trying to have Frankensteins in mind, you got this one setup to optimize for, just like a console. That would do wonders on PC. That's the thing that I'm most excited about, because PC players don't like to hear, but it's not optimized. You're paying $5,000-$6,000 for your hardware, and then these games come out jank, and you're trying to brute force these games into sufficiency. But I don't think they should lower the price. What can they do? You know what I mean? It's like I just don't think that people want to leave PlayStation because what does Xbox have other than a low price? My friends are over there. We had a PlayStation 4. Grand Theft Auto is coming out. Now, do they have marketing rights? Because everybody's assuming that PlayStation has them. I saw in the comments that somebody was saying that would be a way for them to say that it's the cheapest way to play Grand Theft Auto. Now, it'll be great.
Grand Theft Auto will play better and will be cheaper on Xbox.
Yeah, y'all say that.
They make Grand Theft Auto 6 drop make it like to where it's instead of $70, whatever it's going to be, make like you cut it like 15, like do a sale or a pre-order discount.
So you want Microsoft to move from subsidizing consoles to video games? No,
got to do something different, something drastic.
They already did something drastic. They gave you a $22.99 instead of $30 on the Game Pass.
You think that's going to be enough? I'm telling you, like
it should be enough for the
more than that.
It should, and then PC, man, it's crazy how PC is paying like $15, but hey, whatever. I'm on Ultimate, so it doesn't matter. But they can't go too low on the console. They can do like little sales, because you can put a console on sale, but you got to look at the Nintendo. The people who bought it just because it was a Nintendo are out the way. Now you hear all the stories about them cutting production, trying to sue the government because they can't move them bitches. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't see lowering the price. They have to have some type of software to get people to want to engage with it. And that's why I led with talking about marketing these games. These games need to be in everybody's faces, especially the big budget games. You shouldn't have to go to PlayStation.
E-Man says, what's up? Love the classic Scream poster. Thanks, man. What's your favorite scary movie? Sinister. By far the most effed up horror movie you'll ever watch.
Is it? I don't know, man. I guess,
it's actually been rated #1 for, there's like a psychologist who did a study. It was the #1 most terrifying horror movie. Have you seen it?
I wasn't looking in your room. No, but I will. I mean, movies don't scare me. They don't disturb me. So the only movie that scared me was Fright Night. I was 5 years old. So like movies don't scare me. So like I'll watch them. I'll watch them. I like some of them, but
watch Sinister if you ever get a chance.
I'm gonna watch it if I can stream it on one of the 20 streaming services I pay for. I'll watch it. But yeah, I don't think they should lower the prices because I think I don't think it'll help, honestly, unless they pretty much give them away like PlayStation did with the PlayStation 3. But to have the console sales meant that much to PlayStation. I don't think it means that much to Xbox because Xbox is getting ready.
Hulu and Paramount Plus, just so you know.
Okay, well I got both of those. So Xbox is about to create new markets for itself, right? Helix is an operating system, right? It's about to be every PC can be an Xbox. So if they can somehow figure out a way to get people to engage with the Xbox app, that's where their biggest wins are going to come from. But putting games on PlayStation just is not a help to the brand. It does nothing for the brand, especially when there's no reciprocation. I don't want PlayStation games, but I want the option to say no, because they're putting games over there on PlayStation, and most of them are duds over there. The ones that blow up are the ones that blew up on Xbox and PC. And so if they're that good, why don't you find a way to get those games in people's faces in other ways outside of dropping them on their console? Because if PlayStation can get people to spend $500, and Nintendo can get people to go pay $400 to $300 for a secondary console, which is what the Series S was positioned to be, people's secondary consoles. Why can't Xbox figure out a way to build that type of value to where people say, hey, man, let me go spend this little. Well, now it's $475. But when it was $300, it didn't move. But they need to figure out a way to get it to move. And just lowering the price, it's just losing money. You know what I mean? Because if they lose that money, we're in an economy now to where they're just going to find another way to get it from us. Y'all want them to have fireside chats like PlayStation and saying, oh, we're going to find new ways to monetize our current install base. That's what you're asking for. We want to lower prices on everything. They don't want to sell consoles as bad as y'all do. So what I was saying earlier is that 50 to 60 million is nothing to poo-poo. If they can get 50 to 60,000 again this generation, they didn't give the final number, so we'll say 55 million. If they get 55 million this generation, and they get into the next gen with a $1,200 console, maybe a few of they're gonna have a low end console, so they're gonna have an $800 console and a $1,200 console hybrid or better. I'd pay up to $1,500 for one because I understand what I'm getting myself into. Because I don't know what y'all thinking. 50 CUs is going to cost 48 gigs of RAM. We going to completely jump over 32 to go to 48. I mean, that'd be awesome, but I doubt it. I mean, and it won't cost a penny less than $1,500, even after the RAM crisis. Especially if they're not subsidizing. I don't think those specs are real. But what's next on my bullet? Oh, so my guy says, Exorcist did scare me, but not like Fright Night did. I was older because my mom wouldn't let me watch The Exorcist because she was afraid of The Exorcist. So I didn't get to watch The Exorcist until I was like the ninth grade. And by then, I knew everything was fake and yada yada. Some things are weird. Like was 7 was the one with the wife's head in the box, Brad Pitt. That was weird. That I was like, man, you put yourself in the position of these people. But that came out when I was young too.
And you gotta check out Happy Death Day and Thanksgiving. Those are some newer slashers.
Oh, are you talking about slashers? Yeah, I watched Scream. I watched those movies. They're not scary. I think those games are fun. Halloween, Jason, Friday. What's the Freddy Krueger? It is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
Yeah, but like he asked, what does Xbox need to do to continue success? I think they're on the right track, but I think
Show Enough scared me.
Who? Did you say Show Enough? Man, Show Enough, man. Show Enough was cool. Man.
A mess.
I had nightmares, man.
Show Enough was cool, but Leroy was cooler.
Yeah, Leroy was the shit.
You know what I'm saying? He was a nerd at first, but Vanity was my crush in elementary.
Oh, Vanity was the huge crush on that boy.
Yeah, Vanity, and Sade. You know what I'm saying? Back when I was a kid. So like, yeah. He pulled Vanity, and that was when I didn't really know movies were fake like that. I was like, man, he got to be with Vanity.
I don't know, Jago. I think the first Alien was scarier than Aliens.
Take life one day at a time. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that. I know the soundtrack. Anyway, so yeah. Hey, if you do that in front of your TV, you get the 1,000 arms.
Who is the next?
I think we gotta stop asking. Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. No, I ain't gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch that movie. I'm asking you to remind me again, but can't keep asking for lower prices because nobody's subsidizing. If Steam's not subsidizing, Nintendo's not subsidizing, PlayStation's not subsidizing, they're doing it for a reason. And then last year, you are the last dragon. You possess the power of the globe. I just saw it on the screen. Anyway, nobody's subsidizing anymore. And last year there was a rumor that came out that AMD wants a bigger cut, and I don't blame them. Remember how long it took for them to come up with a price for the Xbox ROG Ally X? It's a lot. Yeah, the Xbox ROG Ally X, because they couldn't settle in on a price.
I think it was going to be higher, but I think they managed to negotiate lower than it was.
And they got it to be a little lower, and people are assuming that maybe they bypassed the Windows fees. But
I think for $1,000 though, you're getting your buck, like with the Ally X.
Yeah, I mean, when you compare it to like a 1X player from a smaller company that's not moving in bulk, that's buying all the pieces and not producing any pieces, and you compare it to that, you're getting more than your money's worth. It's the best deal on a handheld. I don't understand people still trying to push a Steam Deck in 2026, but hey, I'm not a Valve fanboy like that. I don't think they're gonna lower the price. I think we should move on from that. We see that they already want to move games to $80. They're gonna get this money back one way or the other. So we need to find the happy medium. I don't care about Call of Duty, but there are a lot of people who did. Not enough, because people weren't really buying Call of Duty. Listen, if you played Call of Duty, that was pretty much all you played. So what do you need a service for? How many people really subscribe to Game Pass for Call of Duty? I just think that they seized the opportunity to raise the price. I thought that they would, look, they put a bunch of crap in there nobody cared about. But to me, $30 was my cutoff anyway. So now I might get another 8 years before it hits $30, and that's cool. But I don't want them to start messing with too many things. I want Xbox games in there. And if Call of Duty needs to be the game, let it be the game. And if Elder Scrolls 6 isn't in Game Pass, or Fallout 5 isn't in Game Pass, or Avowed 2 is not in Game Pass, I'm gonna revolt. Those are the games. Those are the types of games I like. Those are the games that I play. I don't want them to start, because we celebrated her saying that she's gonna change what doesn't work and find what works. That opens the door for so many things, and it's non-committal. We acted like she said that. We acted like she said something definite when she said that, and that's what I don't like. We need clearer direction. We talked about this a lot. They need to really put their foot down and say who they are. You know what I mean? Like I keep hearing on the Nerdcast in the morning, and he throw it on the table and say, "Hey, beat me." You know what I'm saying? Because it's time to stop getting slapped around. It's time to stop confusing your fan base. I listen to Xbox fans, man. Sometimes we're dejected. Now, so what I'm seeing now from the Xbox community is a breath of fresh air. Like y'all shouting out Asha, but shoot, man, Duck Dynasty came out and was like, "Nah, this bitch lying." I don't think Nib made a post since. You know what I mean? But that's what Xbox should have been doing. Just something, just real, subtle. This is a lie. Keep pushing. Ratio. You know what I mean? Now the community is laughing at them because these people have been getting away with just making up stuff about Xbox and pretty much ruining the reputation of Xbox. So now they got to bring in somebody to clean it up, which they should have done a long time ago. I would have thought, because legal brings up power on a lot, that they would have thought to do this way sooner. Because when they announced the Xbox One, the first thing they wanted to see was the reaction on social. So why wasn't social media management a bigger deal up until now? I think that they're reprioritizing. I think that they're finally understanding what needs to be done to really win in this space. You got to kill PlayStation. This play nice stuff is not going to work. See, people think that Xbox really wanted to just put Call of Duty in Game Pass. That was one of the things that they said they'd do to get the deal over the hump. They said it would bring the game to more gamers and put it in their service. And then the people cried about it. So now they got justification to take it out. Bobby Kotick he said it should never be in the service. Certain games don't belong on the service. I agree. Because if you're going to spend that kind of money, the service better be at 100 million to cover for it. That's why Netflix works. That's why Netflix can bring out a Harder They Fall 2, because they got 400 or 500 million subscribers. It works. But if you're at 40 million and you're dropping, 200, $300 million games in the service, is it really working out? You know what I mean? I mean, we've been saying that things are working because we buy those early access packs and stuff like that. Is it really compensating? Obviously not, because they were quick to take it out. So they get 2 wins. They get to look like they're really doing us a favor, and they get to get all that money from Call of Duty now. Not from me.
So our friend Marius over at Twitter just posted a Steam chart for Marathon. As of today, it is down to 7,900 players, and it's the most refunded game of 2026.
Dang.
Also, GTA 6, there was a rumor that the November 19th release date is final with no more delays. So it looks like it's definitely coming this year. But yeah, Marathon is not looking good.
We'll see. Yeah, Harder They Fall 2, man. Like, it's in pre-production, but what I'm saying is a big budget movie like that works in Netflix. You can go get like Tom Hardy and The Rock and Ryan dude from Canada and make these big, huge movies. Ryan Reynolds. Make all these big budget movies, and skip the theaters, and it works because you got 500 million subscribers. You can bring out Squid Game season 2. You know what I mean? Stranger Things. These are big budget shows. Well, they do kind of do the whole little after the second or third season try to get rid of the show, like everybody else does because it gets expensive. But they need more subscribers for these games to work. That like not sustainable. It just depends on how much money they want to make, because the whole argument is not sustainable. It can sustain itself. It can really sustain itself if they don't pay for third parties. There's just so much value in there, and I don't know how much they say it just costs $1 billion, but whatever. I hope it does, because at that rate, it's good money. But they need more subscribers for all these games. Because I mean, how much money is Elder Scrolls 6 going to cost? How much? We already know Fable is at least 150. That thing's been in development for like 7 years. You know what I mean? We know Playground does good work. They got Witcher devs, they got Rockstar devs, they got Naughty Dog devs all over there at Playground.
They got the Blizzard devs too. It's going to be. It's going to be hot, real. It's going to be the Fable is going to be a gaudy contender, in my opinion. Because GTA 6 is past the expiration date for the GTA award. Sorry for the Game Awards. It won't qualify for the Game Awards.
Okay, I was about to say because Grand Theft Auto is going to sweep everything. Well, we already know, so it really doesn't matter what drops in 2026.
I think it's going to be E-Day or Fable that's going to take Gotti.
It'll be Fable. It depends on what Dawn Walker looks like. I think that I'm surprised that Crimson Desert hasn't sold more. It hit like 5, and then it crept to 6, and it's like it seems like that's about what it's going to do until they lower the price on it. I'm surprised that it didn't just blow up like an Elden Ring or something like that, because like they've been hyping that game for years and it looked beautiful. But but you also got the 2 Capcom games. You got the 2 Capcom games. You got Fable. You got Dawn Walker that could come out. There's another game. What about that Tides of Annihilation? We don't know what that's gonna look like.
So
what are you about to ask me?
How can like Sony gamers, right, like PlayStation gamers, be happy with Lisa Su coming out and saying that they're going to monetize their players more, and they just raised their prices of their console another $100?
That was Lynn Azar.
And like they think they're going to be okay. I'm talking about the casuals. I'm talking about the hardcore. How can they be?
No, you said Lisa Su. Mama Su is AMD.
Or no, sorry, not Lisa Su.
Lynn Azar.
Lynn Tao or Lynn.
Yeah, Lynn Tao.
Lynn Tao. Sorry, not Sue. My bad.
Oh,
like, how do they look at that and say that, okay, this is a great platform for me. I'm getting a lot of value, but they're monetizing them more. They're raising their prices on everything more. They're giving them less games to play. They're shoving live service games down their throat. I just don't see, other than like outside of casuals, I just don't see how the hardcore are okay with that. They just seem to keep playing along like it's okay. Like it doesn't make any sense to me.
What you guys got to do, man? Y'all got to learn to let them eat cake. Okay? Stop trying to win. Stop trying to win the worst gaming base on planet Earth. And I don't say that just because I'm an
Nintendo fans. Like, how could they
those
be okay
are the
best?
Okay, because they buy the console for the games, right? Casuals and hardcore Nintendo fans. Us hardcore fans on PlayStation and Xbox buy the first party games. Because think about it, if you're only selling 15, 10 million, and that's on the high end, most of these games from PlayStation are selling 1 to 5 million. Hell, and then you got games like Returnal and Sorrows, which probably won't hit 1 million either. Returnal didn't hit 1 million across PC and console. It should be on Xbox by now. But that just lets you know how hostile the PlayStation is towards Xbox. But they're not. It's not that they're happy or upset. It's that they're ignorant. It's that the hardcore gamer is gotten. They're gonna buy whatever PlayStation puts before them. The casual gamer, they can't reach them. Really, they're just talking. The only people that they're gonna monetize are the hardcore gamers who are just enthusiasts. because the casual gamer is not the one that's buying the new ugly custom controller and mud flaps for the consoles. That's the hardcore. So the common gamer does not care about their attempts to monetize them. The only way that they can monetize them is to try to move them to the higher tier service. And if Xbox is having challenges doing it, what the hell is PlayStation gonna do with their sorry ass service? So no, it's not that they're happy or that they're cool with it. They it's just ignorant to it. The hardcore fan, they're gonna buy whatever. That's their platform. Like if it was a platform for me, it would be a backup platform. I wouldn't subscribe to anything unless the odd game came out that I would buy. I would play on a PlayStation. But nah, common gamer don't give a fat rat. You know what I mean? They're playing Fortnite and they'll subscribe while they play Call of Duty and Madden. Like what PlayStation is doing is blowing smoke. They can try to flip these people to a higher tier, but the best they're gonna be able to do is trick them into higher tiers. Do trials and never cancel their services and things like that. Hey, upgrade for 14 days and they forget, and then one day the mama figures out that these consoles are getting charged more than they should per month. But there's nothing that they can do.
Only Zero, what's good, famo? Salute to you, man.
I said salute early. He gave the super duper.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? But PlayStation. I heard everything you said about PlayStation, man. But it's like you were like, how could you be happy on PlayStation? It's like, man, look, there's games on every platform, right? And the biggest games are the most played games are the most played games on every platform. Fortnite, Call of Duty, Madden, 2K, Minecraft, Roblox. And if it was on Nintendo, they would all be number one over there too. Fortnite is number one on every platform that exists. So it's like that's the real problem. And that's the problem that Game Pass was attacking. Because people need to be trained to play video games again. People are not playing video games. People are cool with playing 1 to 2. They're not. What is his name? The Vic, whatever his name is, Vic Camino, whatever his name is, from not Alenia. What's the guy's name, man? The dude who has the numbers, who left Twitter, went to Blue Sky.
I know.
I can't remember his name. Matt Piscatella.
Piscatella. Oh, okay.
So yeah, Matt Piscatella goes out on podcasts and breaks all these numbers down, explains how people are not buying games, explains how the majority of gamers are buying 1 to 2 video games. And us hardcore gamers are buying up to 6. That's considered hardcore. You know what I mean? So like I consider people like us and people that are sitting in video game chats the hardest of the hardcore. Like we're buying everything. We're subscribing to everything. If we don't like it, we whine it. You know what I mean? But there are not enough of us. And unfortunately, the majority are the people who are locked into 1 or 2 games per year. And that's bad for gaming. And so that's why I was like, that was one of the first things that I noticed, and I used to shout on this show, Resident. Game Pass is training gamers to play games again. Kind of reminiscent to the blockbuster 2 games a weekend type of deal. Having access to more video games that you really can't afford. That's just, and there's not a lot of value in that for most gamers. That's the problem with the sub service. That's why I knew Call of Duty wasn't really doing anything. I mean, Game Pass wouldn't do really much for it unless the microtransactions, because I know I paid for the Black Cell last year. Like Call of Duty was actually good last year. It's not this year. That's one thing Xbox has to fix. There's too much competition for them to drop duds like Black Ops 7. Oh yeah, Minecraft is a beast of a game. First, we get second from. It's first. Grand Theft Auto is second. And I think Tetris is sold more than both of them. What you got to add to this, legal man?
Call of Duty. Call of Duty is one of those things that's gonna sell itself.
If it's good.
But anyway, it's never gonna be out. People will run away from it just like they did and back to it. It's just things, man. But I think the fact that the overall gamer on Xbox knows that the pilgrimage of Call of Duty is a PlayStation thing. Generation with the marketing rights. So more people are going to play Call of Duty on PlayStation just simply because they don't have a community. It's not a big deal for us because we have a community over here. And so the fact that if they taking Call of Duty off of Game Pass to lower the price, it didn't bother me one bit. Actually, lowering the price is good. If it's going to generate more sales, they'll know. They'll know. There's nothing that they're like I've been saying. They're a data company / software company. They always going to look and test out the numbers. They're going to see the data. When the data makes sense, Microsoft makes. That's just it. We don't have to sit around here and play the fake insiders and all that stuff. All you have to do is just buckle up and just watch and wait. Everything is gonna come out to play anyway. Everything is. So with the changes being made, I heard what y'all were saying. Regardless if that's true or not, the fact is she's the new face, she's the head. It's like I was talking to Games Heroes today, and I was telling him, Mark Jackson, he built the superstars of the Golden State Warriors. The superstars was Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. And I said, if you think that they won championships just off of those three players, something's wrong with you. I said, throughout the years, Steve Kerr made trades. He brought in assets in, and it helped that trio win championships. But that trio was created by Mark Jackson. Does that take the credibility away from Steve Kerr? Of course not. Because Mark Jackson didn't win the championships. He built that. He got that three. He got that triple there, but he didn't build any championships. You don't just say, 10 years later, that's Mark. Say stuff like that. So when it was Steve Kerr's time to shine, that first year, it was just due when people say, well, Mark Jackson built that. Yep, they had it right to say that. But championship, that was it. That was it. And that's the same thing with Asha. Right now, Phil Spencer left it like this and left it like that. But they don't realize what they're saying. This is what's true about the matter. Phil Spencer left Xbox a mess. Regardless of how anybody thinks about what he left it a mess. So basically, it up. So if Phil Spencer in the background still got to get cleaned up, he can't get the credit for anything because he's done. He's retired. He's retiring. She has been the new CEO of Xbox. So whatever happens now, regardless of what's been set in motion or what hasn't been set in motion, falls in her lap. Not Phil Spencer's, not Sarah, falls in her lap. So whatever, nobody can make me believe that the reverse call on Game Pass was idea when Phil Spencer raised the price of stupid. There's going to be things, like she said, that there's going to be things where she won't. You have the power to. The one thing that I like about what's going on that Phil didn't do was interact online. Now, for everybody getting all out of their horseshoes about the 0.00001 percenters that are on social media whining and crying, and that's what you're focusing on, you're stupid. Stop focusing on that. Nobody to these people on Twitter. Microsoft sees the number. They see it. They see it. Nobody cares. They don't influence it. Most people don't even know these people. Most people are oblivious. Most people are oblivious to all these execs, all this, the Xbox team, they're oblivious to it. Most people just have these consoles, they play their video games. They get wind that something went down, they're happy about it. Okay. Nobody, the only people that you see that are digging and wasting their time, that's it. That's it. It's not real. People on social media are a bunch of followers. They just follow that's it. It's not a real place. The reality is, well, all the little cute little stuff that we're doing out here isn't helping the industry. That's the reality. You can do all the little cute stuff. That's not selling video games. It's not. You want to show games, there's only one way to do that. The gamers. Bottom line. You can't listen to the dummies out there, but listen to the real sincere people out there that understand, like Realist said today, it's balancing. That's what Microsoft needs to do with Xbox, is balance. Xbox needs a proper alignment. It needs its tires balanced. It needs to have a smooth ride, a smooth ride of experience. I agree with Red said. Microsoft needs to market their capabilities. I've been saying that forever. It comes down to capabilities. That's the bottom line. And when you can dissect the capability and show people the product that you have, now you give them knowledge. And when they go somewhere and somebody starts lying about their product, the consumer can tell them the truth. No, that's not true. But if you never show people your product, it can be easily misconstrued. And that's what happens to the Xbox. It has all these features, and we don't even have commercials for it. That's crazy to me. It blows me away. Start showing people the benefits of having an Xbox as a gamer would look at it. You know, it's sad, man, how long Xbox has come out, and it just feels like they're still lost. People are happy in the Xbox streets for once. The atmosphere has changed for once. I'm enjoying it. It's good to see it. It's good to see people energized about Xbox. I could care. They're energized about Xbox. And it's a good feeling as an Xbox fan to see it. I don't need to get too deep in the gaming industry to try to figure all this out. To understand that people are starting to enjoy what's going on with Xbox. For the most part, with her, all I can tell her is keep it up. There's nothing else to say, just keep it up. Keep your eyes open, study who's who, learn what's going on. I think she'll be okay. This Helix is gonna be legendary. I can't wait to get my hands on it, Realist. I can't wait. It's gonna be games galore. The whole video games is gonna change. All this crazy talk we do, it's gonna change. All this work, it's gonna change. Because they're already exposing themselves. Like I told y'all a long time ago, the PlayStation community is a bunch of fraudulent actors. All they want you to believe is that they buying and playing these games, and they're not buying and playing these games. Ben said that. And only fraudulent players come out crying about price. As if video games were ever cheap. Video games ain't never been cheap to begin with. You crying out here about video game prices, the video game industry or the hobby is not for you. It's not a cheap hobby. This wrong Xbox Ally X was not a cheap item. It's not cheap. Start acting like everything's gotta be cheap in the gaming industry for people to enjoy it. If that was the case, there wouldn't be no high-end PCs. We wouldn't be talking about performance in gaming. Well, you think that when you buy a vehicle and you get the performance edition vehicle, is it not more expensive than the standard one? Like, we gotta be stupid out here, man. Stop being so damn goofy. This Xbox is being marketed as a premium experience. That's not coming cheap. But you a grown-ass man, and you out here complaining about how something costs so damn much, and you're able to work for your money, you sound pathetic. Because you're a grown-ass man. You should getting more money. You should know how to get more money and support your habit. You know, I know bums who support their habit. They're willing to go out there and stand by that bridge all day to support their habit. So I have no sympathy for you as a gamer out here admitting how cheap your wallet is on a social media platform. That shit's goofy to me. You're on social media admitting that you can't afford something as a grown-ass man. That sounds goofy as hell to me. These people are the kind of people that talk tough. When they get caught, they snitching on everybody. That's them. That's them. They weirdos, man. Have no respect for them. Stop crying all the damn time. It's no crying in gaming. Either you can afford it or you can't. Like I've always been saying. Either you can afford it or you can't. The industry would definitely crumble under your wallet. Under your wallet? That can't depend on you. You crying about it for everything to be cheap. How's the industry gonna shine if everything's cheap? Hell, you go to the dollar store. It ain't the dollar store no more. That shit's called Dollar General. I mean, there's generalized items in there now that are for $1. But the dollar store used to be dollar, everything under $1. Now, hell, it's almost the same as Walmart. Everything's up, bro. Gas up. Food's up. Everything, but idiots. Idiots are the only thing that are up. And they love to come to social media and be loud. In reality, they're quiet. It's goofy out there. It's the most goofiest people running their mouth on social media, man. You ever look at these dudes' profiles, bro? These dudes are goofy. I mean, straight up. These dudes are whack, bro. Running their mouths, bro. It's hilarious. If you can't afford it, you just can't afford it. That's not something to be made fun of. You know, nobody should be out here making fun of somebody who can't afford it. As a matter of fact, like I said on the last show, we should be a giving community. We're gamers. That's what gamers do. We look after each other. If anything, we look after each other. We don't look down on each other because somebody can't afford something. But then again, hey, if you can't afford it, damn, Rez, look like you fixing to get a dinner plate or something, man. Damn, Rez getting served like a king. But No, if you can't afford something.
Sorry about that.
Nah, man, I want some of that. Whatever that was, that chicken wings or something. Oh, you got pizza or something. Yeah. I feel you, boy. Live and direct. There you coming. We're going to eat on the show. We don't give a damn. We're going to eat on the show because I'm Rez. Look. Oh, man, you know, it's like you just got to, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell grown men, you know? I don't know what to tell grown men, CB4. Like, what am I supposed to tell grown men? Come on, man. Save your money up. Like we're somebody's parent. Grown man. Save your money up. Don't spend your money on this. Man, like, shit's funny as hell out here, man. That's why sometimes, man, I lose interest. Like, cause I'm too real for this goofy shit. Like, that's why
it's goofy. Yes.
Yeah, my boy Rez got off Twitter long for a while. Shit's goofy. Yeah, because you're listening to a bunch of actors. You're not even listening to the people who put in the work. That's not the.
It's a clown show. Yep.
Right. It's a clown show. So it's like, at some point, you just be like, man, you know what? So it is, G, man.
Like, I'm done. Like, I don't need this crap.
It's a bunch of people who are broke.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of people who are broke. Talking about video games. The first sign of some sense rising up, they crying. They're crying. It went up 30. You know? These donkeys are funny as hell. That's why I said to Asha. That's why I said to Asha, if we're gonna reset, we need to reset. Stop dealing with everybody on social media and go straight to your core fan. Start giving to the expert. Find a way. Put something on your platform. I'm just being honest. I'm not emotionally attached to anybody on social media. What I look like. I'd rather see gamers when actually support my platform get something in return. That's what I want to see.
Right. And I think they realize that. She realized
that's more realistic. It's more realistic and it brings value. You know? What good is it for me to give a rich man $100? What's that rich man benefit? Where's the impact in that? But if I
just want to say cheers to the Xbox community here, to my friends. This is to all the homies in the chat pack. Yes, we got one other topic to talk about before we call it a show tonight. We
pour out a little juice, man. Pour out a little juice for the memories. Yeah, dang.
Right. Hey, Real. I sent you the video in your Twitter chat, but we just saw some new gameplay of the new 007, and yikes! It doesn't look. It looks booty.
Bring that game out.
It looks fun.
Bro, you mentioned that earlier. It looks good from what I mean. I saw like a video. Man,
Legal saw it, right? Legal, does that look good to you? I don't know, man.
I didn't know. I mean, maybe you saw another video, but the one that I saw where he was blowing stuff up. Look, man, I don't know.
That was cinematics, probably, but the graphics look rough. Like the gameplays.
We're talking about.
I saw bullets passing
I'm not
through
talking
enemies.
about Quantum Break. I'm talking about 007.
No, we're talking about the new 007 game.
Bro, we talking about this. Is this IO? Right? This IO?
Yes.
This shit looks like Quantum Break.
Bro, I expect Hitman in a James Brown outfit.
Yeah, I expect. What I expect.
But I like Hitman.
Right. Exactly. It's kind of hard to explain, but not like that. Here's what I'm not expecting. I'm not expecting a young James. I'm about to say James Brown.
I'm about to look it up right now.
I'm not.
I sent you a video of the gameplay.
Who?
He sent me a video of the gameplay, but I could have swore the video that came out like last week or something like that.
It's already been delayed twice, I think.
I'm not looking for a Bond game to be something where he's in the open and they're shooting, missing him, and he's fighting. That's not James Bond. It looks stupid.
Yeah, man. This is exactly what I expected, man.
You know, you expected him to be in a damn casino in the open.
No, this ain't Casino Royale.
And people shooting, and they're missing them.
Okay, if everybody hits you, how much fun would that be?
That's why it gotta be a James Bond movie. You want, I mean, a moment. You gotta take cover. You gotta. He's not there to be. He's a spy.
I don't know. I guess I just expected better from a AAA studio.
But no, okay. IO, right? This is IO. What's the? I mean, they came out with Hitman. Hitman to me is like high-end AA. I mean, it's not the best. It's definitely not the worst. When I'm talking about Hitman, this right here, yeah, this is the video I saw. What did y'all? I don't know what y'all expected though. But
you're expecting to be in a James Bond movie. Here's break.
We're talking Gears of War eBay level graphic fidelity.
Oh, you mean okay? Well, that's IO.
I'm not looking.
IO doesn't do that. Like you want Coalition or Naughty Dog. You know what I'm saying?
And not one bullet.
Sony Santa Monica, then that's different. I think that one of those Sony studios would have been better suited, a slower stealth with a nice storyline where you pick up the girl or boy. If it's Sony's making it, you may get to pick up the boy.
I see what you did there.
But yeah, I mean, it's what I expected.
But you're not day one, right? Are
you? Not for 70.
Listen, Raz, right now, you talking to Realist. Realist has given up on top dollar games. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Realist is going to blame his back catalog for everything, and he's going to catch every game on silence. That's it. That's Realist. You're not going to get him any game because
okay. Well, I got one. I got one for you. I got Crimson Desert.
Oh, you did? Nice.
All right. Yeah, but
did you get it day one?
You liking it?
I got it day 3 because there was a hang up with my Microsoft points.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby.
Look, I had like $300 in Microsoft points, like $340.
There you go, man.
Micro bucks.
There was an excuse for it.
And it wouldn't let me buy a $100 gift card. And so I said, well, let me just buy a $50 gift card and spend 20. So that's what I did. Or I spent 36 or whatever because I got the deluxe edition.
What but I paid for $4?
But he's right, Resident Man. What? Look, man, if I go on my Xbox, man, me and my boy were doing this the other day because we shared a deal, the library, and 1,006 games, right? And that's including all of the services in Xbox. And then you have read books, keep gaming for fun. Read books, keep gaming for fun. Y'all get that?
Read books, keep gaming for fun.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just
try again with us.
Legal and I are kind of expecting the next gen experience now with the games.
Not from IO, bro.
I know. I understand that. I get it. I'm just saying, like, we want the high tier, high quality, like Fable and
for high hopes. I suffer from high hopes.
Okay, so did you? So all of us got Crimson Desert, right?
Yeah.
You happy?
I'm on chapter 7.
No, Resident, you cool with how that looks?
Shit, he ain't on chapter 2. He bullshit right now.
I'm on chapter 2. I'm gonna tell you what, man. I spent 30 hours chopping trees.
Well, you know, if you okay, you're going about it that way. No, you can't.
No, I didn't spend 30. I didn't spend, but I did.
I will admit,
I did spend
there's
30
no wrong way to play the game. Yeah, there's
Crimson's
no wrong
pretty
way.
rough too. I will say.
Like it is an MMO single player MMO because I mean it put me like back in my Elder Scrolls Online mode where I'm mining and farming. Like, bro, I got 700 hours in Animal Crossing.
I forgot. Oh, yeah, Realist is gonna be.
You know how
Requiem to me was
the
next.
Yeah.
Requiem was the next gen level experience for me.
Oh yeah, that was one I didn't get, man. But see, I got Pragmata.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
I do want to buy that. I do want to play that.
Yeah, I got it. I got to start playing it.
Yeah, but because I was trying to finish off a vow, and then Pragmata came out. And full disclosure,
it has a cool
full disclosure,
art
I didn't pay
style,
for it.
aesthetic. Like Replaced, I really like Replaced because it's got that sci-fi Blade Runner kind of style. Like,
hey, so did you like Ghost Runner?
Yeah.
Okay.
It depends on the game, really. If it's a 007 game, I'm expecting it to be like a premium movie experience, almost like game, where it's like
bro. No.
That's what I'm saying, like, because it's 007.
All right, just for sake of conversation. All right, it's 11 o'clock, but I don't have to get up early in the morning.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so we can start
one. So for the sake of conversation, other than the studios I named, who could have given you the experience that you're looking for? For 007. Because it seems like y'all want that high end graphics.
Ubisoft,
you want a nice story, and you want a better. You want it looking smoother. You know what it looks like? It looks casual. It looks like a lot of auto executions.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot of hand to hand, just from what I saw in that 1 minute 40-second clip that you sent me.
That ain't.
My guy said Whataburger just came to South Carolina. Y'all can have Whataburger now. Whataburger sold out.
Whataburger sold out of Texas, man.
No,
when the Chicago family got it, man. Everybody getting a taste of Texas.
Hey, Pixel Slapper, before you go, what you talking about, man?
I would say Coalition or Exile.
He said Bethesda been chasing Morrowind for too long. Like that's like probably my all-time favorite game, Elder Scrolls 3, Morrowind, Blood Moon Tribunal. Like, those games were phenomenal. I want those remade. Like, you got people crying for Fallout New Vegas.
I didn't know that, G-Man.
What?
Whataburger was in Florida till like 2009. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but it's back.
Whataburger is overrated.
Yeah, Whataburger, it's you remember, well, I don't know about how big it is in D-Town up there, but like down here, like Whataburger had to kind of like repackage. Like, they started bringing your food to your table and, doing more commercials because they fell off.
Survive off of Whataburger when I was down in Corpus Christi, man.
Whataburger
survived off this.
Whataburger buns. Whataburger don't even have mayo.
Man, come on. You sound like my son now. Talking about burgers.
Yeah, their burgers are super dry.
Whataburger is the best.
Whataburger don't have mayo. Smashburger is the best fast food hamburger, or Freddy's, or Steak and Shake.
Freddy's has got a good burger.
Steak and Shake go hard too. Freddy's go hard though.
I don't need your confirmation. I know they go hard. Talking about a freaking Whataburger. I know you think Smashburger and Freddy's go hard.
Whataburger number 2 all day, man. I want my Whataburger number 2. And I want
about Five Guys.
Hey, bro, best burgers on the map.
They're pretty good. But when they first came out, I heard it was so good, but I heard it was expensive, so I never went. But I went to pick up my boy from school, and we got there early, and there's a Five Guys right by his school, so we went. Man, they give you a lot of fries, but the fries are greasy and they had seasoning on them. And then my burger was so greasy it was falling apart. That's how I like it. They got mayo at Five Guys too. I like mayo. No freaking salad dressing. What the heck want salad dressing on a hamburger, bro? You put Miracle Whip on your hamburgers legal? You sound like a Miracle Whip mother.
Baby, sometimes.
You put sandwich spread and Miracle Whip on your burgers, huh?
I put Duke's mayonnaise on mine.
Oh, you eat mayo?
I'm a Duke's boy.
Okay, well, you like mayo. Whataburger does not have mayo. They have salad dressing.
Yeah.
I gotta take a Whataburger home and get some mayo. See, I really
some
don't
mayo,
care.
yeah.
Hey, look, hey, bro, mayo is so expensive. I bought some generic last week.
It's all good.
And then I went back to Hellman's today though.
Yeah.
Nothing like Hellman's.
Hey, Duke's and Blue Plate is pretty good though. But Duke's is still $6.50. Blue Plate is cheaper, but you can only get that at Walmart. And I don't shop at Walmart.
Oh, you too good for Walmart now, huh? You one of them bougie people now.
No, Walmart is just not close. I mean, it's close, but I will pass HEB. I'll pass an HEB and a Kroger before I get to Walmart.
Oh no, you no, you good. Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I ain't no way I'm stopping past HEB and a Kroger to go to Walmart.
Bro, I used to hate pickles too, man. But there's this flea market, right? And they sell pickles in all flavors, bro. Right? My kids got fruit punch and apple, and man, I was like, wow, these are good, right? It tastes just like candy. But they had something called spicy and something called spicy garlic. Bro, I bought 3 jugs of them pickles, and I was just eating burgers just like I had the pickles on them.
You stupid boy.
Yeah. I got Publix is like, Publix is outstanding. We don't have anything comparable to Publix.
Well, we just want to say real quick, thank you to everybody who came out tonight. We appreciate you guys' support and talking about gaming, and we always get excited to talk about Xbox and the future of the platform, and wanted to go over the new news with Helix and talk more about the Game Pass price drop and Call of Duty getting removed from the service. I want to thank Legal and Realist for joining the conversation. They always are fun to talk with, and we always have differences of opinions.
It's your last day bullying me too.
But we're all for the love of gaming, right? We're all for the love of talking about games, because that's our hobby. We love. And anybody else, you got anything to say before we call tonight?
And now, man, you did your thing. Good show tonight, man.
Man.
Good show. Thank you for the information.
Play games and stop trying to get everything for the low.
Facts.
Hey, look,
you're right. Gaming's not a cheap hobby. You made some good points, but on the flip side, everybody's looking for a good deal, right?
Listen, that's what I was going to say. I do want to say that I'm not advocating for higher prices, but I do know that if they charge more money, they want more money. And so if they want more money, they have to provide the value. And if you notice, they didn't get rid of the crap that we said we didn't want. I might say I don't play Call of Duty, but I do. I could give a fat rat about the Crew, Fortnite, Valorant, and whatever else they're giving points on. I don't care about those. They didn't get rid of those. They get rid of Call of Duty. So
just Call of Duty.
They're coming back. They're coming back for the blood, man. So if they lower the price again, just know that something else is going to be missing. Yeah. Like we can't praise the day ones and then cry about the price of a freaking service at $30 a month when that one day one is $50, $60.
Exactly, makes no sense.
So but that's what we've been doing, as a community. $30 is a lot, right? It's a lot, especially for somebody like me. My kids, they all want a separate subscription service, so I got about 5, right? Plus Game Pass. I used to have Ubisoft Plus. Say what?
Wish was my daddy.
No, man, I wish you was my daddy, man. You buy NBA 2K. I gotta wait for it to hit Game Pass. But nah, man. It just you right, Resident, we're the same age. So like back in our day, I know it was ridiculous today, but back then I didn't understand the value of $1. But we used to get these books called Babbages. Did y'all have Babbages in the South, Legal? Legal. Did you? I'm done talking to you. Okay, so no, it was probably EB, right? So, so we had Babbages, and so me and my boy Bam, we would get these catalogs, and we would just look at it and wish for certain things. So I asked my dad, I said, hey man, I ain't say, hey man, I said, Daddy, can I have this? And the Neo Geo was $600. You know, it was, you know, it didn't mean nothing to me. But you know, I had to jump through 50 hoops, and I did. And he had to keep his word. And I only got 2 games per year because each game was $200. You know, and I hear these stories about how Nintendo games used to cost $100 and this and that. But my mama never paid $100 for a video game. The most expensive game that I had on Super Nintendo was Super Scope 6, and it came with a bazooka. You know what I mean? I don't remember $100 Super Nintendo games. I was in Texas at that time.
You was the only kid in the house.
Say it again.
You was the only kid in the house too, wasn't?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my dad, you know, I had stepbrothers, but like my mom, my brother, man, I'm like 18 years older than them. So yeah, basically the only child. But it doesn't matter, you know. That's a lot of money. You know, single mom. I still don't remember $100 video games. But gaming,
banks, man.
Gaming
they
was
they just never told the truth.
And that's why, like I used to say, man, we don't give Xbox enough praise. We don't, hell, even PlayStation back, you know, for even subsidize it to the point to where dudes feel entitled to subsidy. You hear PC dudes talking about the price could be a little lower. The price could be a little lower on consoles. You're not even on console, bro.
I love Relish because he always gets us over the mark with the time, man.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. I didn't. That wasn't all I was trying to do.
Got us right.
I'll just BS, and I really wasn't even looking at the time. I was looking at 10:50. I'm looking at 22:56. That's what I'm looking at. But like,
yo, Relish, get us out of here, man.
Okay, because Resident did, but gaming's never been cheap. Gaming has always been an expensive hobby. It's always been a luxury. I don't know what your definition of luxury is, but to me, a luxury is anything that is not a necessity. So if you're being priced out, you might need to reprioritize your life and finances. Shout out to everybody in the chat and everybody who hung out here with us tonight. Shout out to Resident for carrying the show. Shout out to Legal for this emergency broadcast. We'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah, y'all late. Y'all suck. Bye.